So this will be my third recording this evening. It's currently close to 10 o'clock, but this is one that I've been wanting to do for a while. That's why this whole video is dedicated to nothing but the art of Final Fantasy XVI. Now, with that said, I will admit my energy is very low right now. I'm hoping this hypes me up a bit. So, I apologize for the deep breaths, for the deep breathing. Um, I am a very heavy breather. I tend to be a mouth breather, and because I tend to ramble and talk without taking breaths sometimes, it, it doesn't exactly make for a great narrator. But here we are. So, Final Fantasy 16 is one of my top three favorite Final Fantasies. FF8 is my first. FF16 would be my second, and I still don't know what number two would be, or number three. I'm guessing Final Fantasy 7, but I'll admit this. It's going to be tied with Final Fantasy X too. It is what it is. Fans of Final Fantasy may not like that, but the art of Final Fantasy VII. I put this in the back. The Last of Us 2 on the last one fell out, so there's that. Okay, these pages are fairly new, so there is going to be a glare. I apologize. I wish I could turn it up, but I am not able. Clive is one of the best characters I have seen in a while in a video game. A lot of people think he's very limited. There's not a lot of depth, but you know what? You look at the relationship with him and his brother, his older brother, the little brother, the protector, the protected. I'm sorry, I keep it in the mic. It's just such a great dynamic, and it reminds me of my little brothers. And maybe that's why I like him so much. I identify with him. It's funny, he's kind of a Squall meets Cloud with a little bit of Sephiroth. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I like it. Characters. Clive Rossfield. Now, here's the thing, and this could be proven or not. Rossfield, there's a very old family. I don't know if they still hold any power, but back generations, Rothschild was a very heavy family name. They had a lot of money, old money. But again, I don't know if they're still around. I'm actually connected to royalty in some regard. About, I think it's 6 generations back. One of my great uncles was an advisor to King Henry VII. He is one of the more prominent figures on my ancestry tree. I just started getting an ancestry because of Lady Psylocke. It's Clive when he's young. There's Ambrosia. I hardly ever use the chocobos in 16. I just like running around. I like beating shit up, you know? There's a Freet. This Freet was so badass. The only thing that really threw me was the hair in the back. I guess you'd call it hair. But man, you want to talk about some epic shots. And here's Joshua, the Phoenix himself. I like Joshua. Again, little brother vibe. Both their brothers, both of them as brothers, are willing to fight for the other, sacrifice for the other. And and it is just amazing. Phoenix is really cool. I've got some screenshots of Ifrit and Phoenix combining some of the most badass shots ever. And this is Jill Warwick. What really surprised me about this game, and I think it's technically the first time I've seen it, the beach scene with Jill and Clive. Oh man, if you know, you know. It's um it's just after Jill gives herself, so to speak, to Clive twice. Again, if you know, you know. She kind of reminds me of a I don't know. There's a couple of character combinations there that could explain Jill Warwick, but nothing comes to mind. But I know it's there. I just can't. This is a great Shiva. This Shiva and the Shiva in, oh man, it has to be 8. I think it's 8. Yeah, Final Fantasy 8, where she does the cold snap. Or she's probably done that in a couple of titles, but this is a really cool Shiva. That is, can't tell if that's her back end or the front. Huh. Oh, anyway. Torgal, the good boy. Oh, look at this guy. He's a badass puppy too. I love that he is a permanent part of the combat system. They finally made a permanent combat animal partner, and then when he becomes Fenrir, spoilers, my bad. Um, oh here it is right here, Fenrir. It is just wicked. Um, Sid, yeah, Sid, my bad. He's dominant. He's a dominant of Rama. Rama's a badass character. Always has been. He's one of the staple summons. Him, Ifrit, Shiva, Bahamut. Benedicta Harmon. She is the, I'm not going to say standard, but she's one of the ones that doesn't mind showing off. And she's Garuda. Now, I think Garuda has been in the series for a while, but to be honest, I can't say for sure. I think Garuda was in some of the older. I don't remember her being in one of the most recent games. Hugo Kupka. I don't like this guy. He's a dick. And he thinks that everything can be beaten or bought with fists and blood. He was the dominant for Titan. Titan was really cool in this. I'm pretty sure Titan was also in 8. In 8. Um, oh, I could be wrong. Actually, I don't think Titan was in 8. I think the two brothers, the little guy and the big guy, were Earth element. Dion Lesage, this guy was cool. I liked him. He had a pretty awesome redemption story, in my opinion. And he is, of course, Bahamut. One of my all-time favorite summons, except the only thing that I think ranks above him is Bahamut Zero. One of my all-time favorite you don't see a whole lot, and that's Doom Train. I know it's in Final Fantasy VIII. It's probably in other Final Fantasies, but I think he's more of an enemy. Barnabas, Odin. Odin is cool. I liked his character in here. It was really awesome. Other characters. gotta be careful. I could easily get. I got a bit of a paper cut on one of the other videos before I started recording. Didn't even notice. But these pages are brand new, and they are sharp. Um, Harpocrates, this guy, he reminds me of the old storyteller in Final Fantasy X. And then there's also Kane Deckard. Stay a while and listen. But the one in Final Fantasy X, he kind of had an ASMR quality a bit, which I thought was really cool. And of course, Blackthorn, the blacksmith, he's a cool guy. Tarja's cool, always carrying, always caring for Joshua. Doris, Vivian. Vivian is the cartographer, I believe, or something to that degree. Now, where is my crush? I have a crush that um, during the playthrough, I kept going back to her and I'd flirt a little bit, because why not? I have a girlfriend, future fiance, but um, we all have our crushes. Was this? Was it Marley? I don't think it was Marley. I can't remember her name. She was sadly one of the lesser characters. Tiamat, Beost, Avis. Maybe it was Marley. Huh. Jote, Eloise, Theodore, Cahill. She's a cool looking character. Etta, bandit slaves, townspeople. Ah, maybe it was Marley. Oh, that's a bummer. All right. So now we get into maps. Maps of the North Realm. Tactical maps. Nautical map. Another tactical map. Valisthea. Rosalith Castle. More Rosalith Castle. Can't talk. Martha's Rest. It's Martha. Maybe it was Martha. Port of Solday. Three Reeds. Got some badass creatures over there in Three Reeds. Um, the Grand Duchy of Rosaria. This is so cool. The Hall of the Ancestors. I love this. This reminds me of the art from Batman v Superman. Um, what was it? It was like, we tend to think that demons come from below, but sometimes they can come from the sky. That was like, so they're referencing Superman. I'm paraphrasing. That's essentially what it was. What it was. What it was. The crystals um, were awesome in the games. Defeating them, watching them blow up was just fantastic. Ooh, that's awesome looking. Where is that? Cosnice? Don't remember that. Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, that was where yeah, it was one of the main traders. He controlled like half of the town of imports and all that. It's really awesome because this game also had subtle references to other Final Fantasies. The only one that really seems to stick with me, I wonder if I can lift this up a bit. There. Oh, that's a little better. The only one that really ever stuck with me was there is a boss fight where one of the moves was called the Spirits Within. I gotta be careful though. I don't know why these are so sharp. It's crazy. Yeah, the Spirits Within, Final Fantasy, one of the first movies they did. Theatrical release too. Very cool CGI. I remember seeing a video of that with, or seeing a commercial of that with my dad back in the day. I was like, Dad, we gotta go see that. He was like, Oh, I know, we need to. He liked it. And then there was a L'Oreal commercial right after that, and we were talking about the animation and Spirits Within, how cool it really was. What we saw in the commercial anyway. L'Oreal commercial came on afterwards, and lady's hair was really shiny, and um, I was like, even that's animated. So God rest him. I love my dad, and I miss him. Um, Bridge to Isla? I don't remember that. Great Southern Gate. I need to get an art of Final Fantasy VIII. I need to look around and see if they have one of those. If so, I'm going to add that to my list. I've got a wish list, but I never really utilize it. Although I might have it down in the description. But I've got a list on Amazon of strategy guides that I'm looking for, games I'm looking for, movies. But it's a private list I share with Lady Psylocke in case we happen to come across it. Clive's Hideaway. Oh, this is cool. Illumination of the Hymns. I need to also get an art of Stranger of Paradise. That's a cool game. Enemies. Ooh, Wyverns. These guys, these guys are so overpowered. I mean, I'll just straight up say it. Like, you do have to dodge, granted, but they annoyed me. Just annoyed me. This guy was cool. Farin, like one of the first enemies you battle. He reminds me of Fafnir. I'm sorry. Um, he reminds me of an Ark creature, but he was really cool. I love the fight mechanics on that. The corals were really cool. These guys would kick your ass in Final Fantasy X. They were kind of a joke here, um, but very cool design. White Dragon, that was cool. This is Iron Giant. I don't remember if the Iron Giant is obviously a big fan of Superman. That's a reference if you understand it. But these guys may be the guys that do the Spirits Within move. Echoes, Ultima's Thralls. Actually, no, it's this guy. It's one of Ultima's Thralls. That's the big guy right here. He's the one who does it. Spirits Within move. Um, this is Necrophobe. Probably in the Necrophilia. Necrophobia. This is Ultima. Ultima scared the shit out of me for a while because I mean, like, the dude really has no eyes. It looks like he's wearing somebody's face. He reminds me of Donald Trump. I'll say it before and I'll say it again, and I've told family and friends, and I'll say it here. Donald Trump looks like a serial killer, although it's not exactly giving compliment to serial killers, that took somebody's face and he just sewed it on and he's just wearing it. He's just such a weird looking dude. But anyway, this is cool. Ultima Prime, you've got the big dark wing, which is reminiscent of Sephiroth. And then in one of his other phases, he's got multiple wings, which again, reminiscent of Sephiroth. Now, granted, these designs have been done through more than a few animes, but that's what it reminds me of. Ultimalius, this was a cool design. Ultima. Ultima's reference, it is a magic spell but I guess I made him the main enemy, which makes sense. It is one of the more powerful spells in the Final Fantasy universes. Ship designs, other art, signboards, emblems, banners, and pennons. Pennants? Pinions? I guess that's, yeah, old school English for pinion. The Aerite Stone. This one's cool. I would love to have a wall scroll of that hanging in the back or above my desk. Written word. That's cool. What is this for? Are those leeches? I don't know what that's for. Hmm. Cards and dice. Oh, look at these dice. Look at this. That's cool. Reminds me of the Jewish. There's a Jewish game. I think it's a game. They use a spinning top. Used to remember the name of it. Ooh, White Mage Doll. I didn't know they had that. That's another reference. Tome. The Oath. Memorial of Archduke Elwin. There's a flower vase. Glass file. Wall of Memories. Oh, excuse me. Carpets. This is a cool carpet. A little much, but it is cool.